Every year, millions of adults worldwide experience declines in memory, thinking speed, and decision-making ability. According to a landmark cohort study of 10,775 middle-aged and older adults, higher consumption of ultra-processed foods was associated with a significantly faster rate of cognitive decline. That means the food you're eating today could be harming your brain tomorrow. Research published in top journals such as JAMA Neurology, Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience, and Nutrients consistently shows that diet quality, processing level of foods, added sugar, refined carbohydrates, and unhealthy fats all significantly affect brain health. Dr. William Taylor Kimberly, MD, PhD, Division of Neurocritical Care, Massachusetts General Hospital, emphasizes, "We've shown that increased intake over time of ultra-processed foods can impact the two most common and significant causes of neurological disability, stroke and cognitive impairment." In this video, we'll reveal 7 foods or food categories that are linked to brain damage, explain exactly why they harm your brain, and provide you practical, science-backed strategies to protect your brain for the long term. Food 1. Ultra-processed foods. Why it matters. Ultra-processed foods, UPFs, are typically high in sugars, refined starches, unhealthy fats, additives, and low in nutrients. These foods promote systemic inflammation, oxidative stress, and impaired vascular and neuronal health, all of which harm the brain's structure and function. Evidence. A cohort study published in JAMA Neurology, 10,775 participants, median 8 years follow-up, found that a higher proportion of daily energy from UPFs was associated with faster global and executive cognitive decline. Expert quote, "Limiting consumption of ultra-processed food could be associated with reduced cognitive decline." Authors of the JAMA Neurology study. Practical tip. Swap out frozen microwave dinners, packaged snacks, sugary cereals, and ready-to-eat meals with whole food alternatives. Fresh vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, whole grains. Aim for minimally processed meals where you control the ingredients.
Food 2. Added sugars and sugar-sweetened beverages. Why it matters. Excessive consumption of free added sugars and sugar-sweetened beverages, SSBs, can lead to insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and altered brain metabolism, especially in brain regions responsible for memory and learning. Evidence. A systematic review found that across 3 cohort and 9 cross-sectional studies, higher intake of added sugars was significantly correlated with worse global cognition and memory. Expert quote. From Harvard Medical School, "Brain functions such as thinking, memory, and learning are closely linked to glucose levels and how efficiently the brain uses this fuel source." Practical tip. Remove or greatly reduce sugar-sweetened sodas, fruit juice cocktails, sweetened yogurts, candy, and desserts. Replace with water, unsweetened tea, and whole fruit. The occasional treat is okay, but frequent high-sugar intake undermines brain health. Food 3. Refined carbohydrates. Why it matters. Diets high in refined carbohydrates cause rapid spikes and falls in blood glucose, contribute to insulin resistance and systemic inflammation, all of which negatively affect brain function, including attention, memory, and processing speed. Evidence. A U.S. older adult study found that a higher percentage of energy from carbohydrates was associated with poorer cognitive performance on tests of memory and executive function. Expert quote. Neurocognitive deficits induced by a diet high in refined carbohydrates may manifest before overt obesity or metabolic disease onset. According to PubMed summary, practical tip, choose whole grain breads, brown rice, quinoa, and oats instead of white breads, white rice, and refined breakfast cereals. Look for ingredients like whole wheat, whole grain, and avoid lists dominated by refined flours and sugars.
Food number 4, trans fats and excess saturated fats.
Why it matters. Trans fats, found in partially hydrogenated oils, and high amounts of certain saturated fats may impair neuron membrane health, promote inflammation and vascular dysfunction, both of which compromise brain structure and cognitive performance. Evidence. An article in Heart, American Heart Association, asserts a poor diet, one high in saturated fat, processed foods, and sugar, increases risk for insulin resistance, diabetes, and heart disease. And all of these systemic diseases increase the risk for cognitive decline in the brain. Expert quote, as above from AHA commentary. Practical tip. Limit intake of butter, ghee, fatty cuts of red meat, commercially baked goods with hydrogenated oils. Choose healthier fats, olive oil, avocado, fatty fish, example salmon, nuts, seeds.
Food number 5, highly processed red and processed meats. Why it matters? Processed meats are rich in sodium, nitrates, advanced glycation end products or AGEs, and saturated fats that can contribute to vascular damage, oxidative stress, and neuroinflammation, all impairing brain integrity. Evidence. While a specific large dementia processing meat study is emerging, see news coverage.
According to Harvard Health Study, publishing research,
Processed red meat linked with a higher risk of dementia in a long-term cohort. Expert quote. Lead author Dr. Yuhan Lee from Brigham and Women's Hospital. Eating processed red meat could be a significant risk factor for dementia. Practical tip. If you consume processed meats, sausages, bacon, hot dogs, deli meats, reduce them. Use lean poultry, fish, legumes, tofu as protein alternatives. Aim for red meat only occasionally and choose unprocessed lean cuts.
Food number 6, excessive alcohol and frequent binge drinking. Why it matters? While moderate alcohol may have some debated protective effects in certain populations, chronic heavy alcohol use is neurotoxic. It damages brain regions involved in memory and decision-making, increases oxidative stress, and promotes brain shrinkage. Evidence, though not fully detailed in the studies above, cognitive decline and brain structure changes with heavy alcohol use are well documented in neuroscience literature. Expert quote, general expert consensus, quote, long-term alcohol consumption shrinks brain volume, particularly in areas governing decision-making. Practical tip, keep alcohol within recommended limits. For the US, up to 1 drink per day for women, up to 2 for men, depending on individual risk, and include several alcohol-free days per week. Avoid binge drinking sessions. Food number 7, artificial sweeteners and excessive additives in processed foods. Why it matters. While less research exists compared to sugar and UPFs, some evidence suggests artificial sweeteners and high additive processed foods may alter the gut-brain axis, change neurotransmitter responses, and possibly impair cognitive function. Evidence. A systematic review noted added sugars and perhaps artificial sweeteners were associated with impaired cognitive outcomes. Expert quote. From the review, human studies suggest that repeated low-calorie sweetener consumption alters brain responses to caloric sweeteners. Practical tip, minimize diet sodas, artificial sweetener-laden snacks, and foods loaded with additives or preservatives. Instead, use whole food-based snacks, nuts, fruit, and yogurt, and sweeten naturally using small amounts of real fruit or moderate honey.
Your brain is one of the most metabolically active organs in your body, but it's also vulnerable to diet and lifestyle choices. The good news? Small, consistent changes can compound over time and protect your brain. As Dr. Kimberly's research emphasizes, reducing ultra-processed food intake may slow cognitive decline. Start by including even one of these changes in your daily routine this week. Choose a whole food snack instead of a packaged one. Swap soda for water. Replace white bread with whole grain. Your heart, your body, and especially your brain will thank you. Like, subscribe, comment, and get more science-backed tips for a healthier you.